now invite Mike Nesbitt to continue the case for the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. President. You have no idea how pleased I am to be here this evening. On the way over, I was refreshing my CV. A very popular pastime with MLAs now that the pay cuts are beginning to bite. And I'm disappointed to report in this latest iteration, every single bullet point starts with the same 4 short, sad words. Mike used to be. So thank you for the opportunity to pretend I'm relevant for one more night. I'm speaking against the motion, but it's important before I tell you why, to tell you that I'm not doing it because I'm just one of those just say no, never, never, never unionists. I understand that change is an inevitable part of life. And my fear for unionism is that we may turn out to be that famous frog that Charles Handy, the famous Irish business guru, talked about. The characteristic of the frog is that if you put it in a pot of cold water and very slowly, very, very slowly heat it, the frog dies because it doesn't spot the environment changing around it and the existential threat contained within that. And there are threats that unionism needs to be aware of. The demographics of Northern Ireland are such that it looks like in a few years' time, the traditional base that supports nationalism and republicanism will represent the majority of the people of Northern Ireland. The Scottish nationalism, English nationalism, dare I say there is also the DUP, the Democratic Unionist Party. I believe their policies, their language, their tone does no profit in the long term for Northern Ireland. And of course there is Brexit. And Brexit is not just about where the border is or about trade or tariffs, it is about identity. And it has done something that the Good Friday Agreement said could not happen. Because the Belfast Agreement 20 years ago said, Colm and only Colm defines his own identity. Clare and only Clare, I and only I define who I am. And I like the sense of a multiple identity, as the great Ulster poet John Hewitt said. I am an Ulsterman, but I'm also Irish and British and European. And importantly, he went on to warn that if you denied any part of that mix, you would diminish who he was. And for many of us, that is what Brexit has done. Brexit has diminished who I am by denying my Europeanness. And it did say in 1998, nobody could do that to me. And I think that is the fundamental problem that we must recognize in terms of what Brexit has done. But is Ireland ready? That's the motion you're being asked to vote on tonight. Is the time right? And I argue the time is not right. And here's why. I was born in 1957 in Belfast, just in time to grow up through what we euphemistically call the Troubles. One of my first memories was my father putting me in his car, taking me up the Craiganted Hills, overlooking the city, as we watched Belfast burn, as neighbour turned upon neighbour. And we're far from over that yet. We still live in a divided city, in a divided country, on a divided island. You know, you think Oxford and Cambridge is bad? You guys are only playing at it. If something is to be reunited today, it's our people. And that was the promise of the Good Friday Agreement. If you go to the very first page, you'll see a declaration of support from all involved. And it was about relationships. It was about saying we will take this opportunity for a fresh start, building new relationships based on tolerance, based on reconciliation, based on building mutual trust and offering mutual respect. And have we achieved that? No, we have not. Particularly not the two big parties, the DUP and Sinn Féin, who cannot even sit in sight of each other in the canteen in the basement of Stormont's Parliament buildings, never mind share the debating chamber or sit around the executive table together as they are supposed to do. And that's why, by the way, I was so keen on forging a relationship with Colm and the SDLP to show that there was a cross-community viable alternative to the DUP and Sinn Féin, who at that point had had 10 years together running our devolved government and had proved time and time again that they could not and would not work together for the benefit of our people. For me and for Colm, it was about making Northern Ireland work, measured in the quality of our health service, our education system, infrastructure, the prosperity of our people. The fact that Colm's motivation was different from mine was no inhibition to working together for the benefit of all. But we must learn from our past and not repeat the mistakes of the past. And if we brought on a border poll tomorrow, we would make the mistake we made in 2016 with the Brexit referendum, asking people to vote for change when nobody knows what that change is, of what the island would look like if a poll on unity were to be successful. I am a unionist. Nobody who wants United Ireland has ever said to me, I want you in this United Ireland. And they've never told me why they want me. And I'm of a generation for decades I heard Republicans shout at me, Brits out. So if it's to be Brits in, I want to know why. And I recognize the irony, by the way, of those words coming from me, a unionist leader, when for the first 51 years of Northern Ireland, the Unionist Party did not go out of its way to Colm and to nationalists to say, we want you in Northern Ireland. And here is why. But there is no reason to make the same mistake twice. If the time is right for anything, it is to unite our people and for those who want unification to make their case, and for unionists to make their case. And if we do it in all seriousness and with respect, we will build trust, and we may even find the shared values that make all things possible. I am a unionist, but I don't like DUP values. I am a unionist. I look at the Republic of Ireland, and I look at what they're doing in terms of marriage equality, reproductive rights, and I'm impressed. So things change. Possibilities open up. Let everybody make their case, let us listen, and let us decide in the future. My final thought is this. If we are going to have that debate, my friends on this bench need to be detailed. To say we want unification because the island is an island is not going to cut it. Geography is not destiny. Thank you very much.